I never thought a simple family trip to visit my sick mom would turn into a nightmare at airport security. My 8-year-old daughter, bald from chemo, clutching her stuffed bear, was already exhausted. And then this woman, this complete stranger, started yelling that we were faking cancer to cut the line. She demanded the TSA agent rip open my daughter's shirt right there in front of everyone to prove the chemo port was real. And when I refused, she lost it completely. Let me take you back to that morning. My name's Sarah, and 6 months earlier, our world had flipped upside down when Lily was diagnosed with leukemia. She'd just finished a brutal round of treatment, her little body poked and prodded more times than any kid should ever endure, and we were flying cross-country so my mom could see her granddaughter while she still had strength. I'd done everything right. Gotten the medical documentation, requested the family medical lane assistance, even called the airline ahead. We had the official TSA family medical pass in my hand, the one they give families traveling with serious medical conditions, so we don't have to go through the full chaos. We arrived early, because with a kid on chemo, you don't take risks with delays. Lily was pale, her eyes huge in her tiny face, wearing her favorite soft pink hoodie that hid the bulge of the port under her collarbone. I was carrying her backpack full of meds, nausea patches, and emergency papers. We got to security, showed the pass to the agent at the pre-check desk, and he waved us toward the shorter medical family lane. That's when she appeared. This woman, mid-50s, perfect bob haircut, designer purse clutched like a weapon, had been stuck in the regular line. She saw us walk past and immediately started muttering loud enough for everyone to hear. Oh, of course, another family cutting because of some invisible illness. I ignored it at first. People stare at Lily's bald head all the time, and I've learned to let the whispers roll off. But as we reached the front of our lane and started unloading bins, she pushed forward, actually left her spot and marched right up to the TSA agent supervising our line. "Excuse me," she said in that sharp, entitled voice that carries across terminals. "That child does not look sick enough to justify skipping ahead of everyone else who's been waiting. I've been here 45 minutes. How do we know she even has cancer? Kids shave their heads for attention these days." My stomach dropped. The agent looked uncomfortable, but stayed professional. "Ma'am, this family has been pre-approved for the medical assistance lane. They have documentation." She wasn't having it. She turned to me, eyes narrowed. "Show me the port, then. If she really has cancer, she has one of those things under her skin, right? Lift her shirt. Prove it." I felt every ounce of blood drain from my face. Lily shrank against my leg, whispering, "Mommy, why is she mad?" Dozens of travelers were now watching. Phones were out. My hands shook as I tried to keep my voice calm. "We have all the paperwork. We're not lifting her shirt in public." The woman, let's call her Karen, because of course that was the vibe, actually raised her voice louder. "This is fraud. You're teaching your daughter to lie for special treatment. Officer, you need to check her yourself. Make her show the port or send them to the back of the real line." The TSA agent radioed for a supervisor. Meanwhile, Karen kept going, saying things like, "I pay taxes for this airport," and "I've seen TikToks about people faking cancer." Lily started crying quietly, hiding her face in my jacket. I was trying not to scream, trying to shield her, trying not to completely break down in front of strangers. When the supervisor arrived, I handed over the folder, doctor's letters, hospital ID, the works. She glanced through it quickly, nodded, and told us we were cleared to proceed with accommodations. Then she turned to Karen and said the words that made the woman's face go purple. "Ma'am, you've been selected for additional screening. Please step over here for a full pat-down." I swear the entire security area went silent. Karen's mouth opened and closed like a fish. She started protesting. "This is retaliation. I'm reporting you." But 2 agents were already escorting her to the side area with the little glass walls everyone can see into. And that's when things got even more surreal, because what happened next with her random screening revealed something about Karen I never expected. As we gathered our bins and moved toward the metal detector, I kept glancing back at Karen being led away. Part of me felt a tiny spark of satisfaction. Finally, someone else dealing with consequences. But mostly I was just trying to get Lily through without another meltdown. She was clinging to my hand, whispering, "Is the mean lady gone?" I promised her ice cream once we reached the gate, anything to distract her. We sailed through the medical lane. The agents were extra gentle, no shoe removal for Lily, a quick hand swab instead of the full scanner, and they even let me hold her while they checked her backpack. Within minutes, we were putting everything back together on the other side, me kneeling to tie her tiny Velcro sneakers while she leaned on my shoulder, exhausted. I thought the worst was over. Then I heard the yelling. It started as a muffled protest from behind the glass partition where secondary screenings happen, the one everyone pretends not to stare at. But Karen's voice cut through the terminal noise like a knife. "Don't you dare touch me there! I know my rights! This is assault!" Heads turned, travelers slowed their walk, a few people openly watched now. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. Karen was standing with her arms out, face redder than I thought possible, while a female TSA agent calmly explained the pat-down procedure. Karen kept interrupting, demanding a private room, demanding a supervisor, demanding to speak to someone's manager. The agent repeated that standard pat-downs are done in public view for transparency. Karen snapped back, "Transparency? You're doing this because I called out that fraud over there." She actually pointed straight at us. Dozens of eyes followed her finger to me and Lily. My daughter froze, her little body going rigid. "Mommy, she's talking about us again." I turned away fast, grabbing our stuff, muttering, "Just keep walking, baby, we're almost to the gate." But inside, I was boiling. How dare she keep dragging my sick child into her tantrum? That's when the first mini-twist hit. The TSA supervisor from earlier walked over to Karen, said something low, and suddenly Karen went quiet, eerily quiet. She dropped her arms, nodded once, and let the agent start the pat-down without another word. I thought, okay, maybe she finally realized she was making it worse for herself. We made it about 20 steps down the concourse when a family behind us started whispering loudly. "Did you see that? The lady who got pulled aside? She's got the same medical pass in her purse." I slowed down, pretending to check my boarding pass, straining to hear. Sure enough, another traveler chimed in. "Yeah, I saw it fall out when she was arguing. Same blue folder, same hospital logo." My heart skipped. Was Karen actually traveling with someone sick too? Was that why she was so obsessed with proof? I couldn't help it. I glanced back again. The pat-down was almost done, and Karen was putting her shoes back on, face still flushed but now more embarrassed than angry. Then the second twist. As she reached for her designer purse on the table, a small stuffed elephant tumbled out, the exact same one Lily has at home, the Chemo buddy the hospital gives kids going through treatment. It landed on the floor, and Karen scrambled to pick it up, clutching it to her chest like it was the most precious thing in the world. Lily saw it too. She tugged my sleeve. "Mommy, she has Mr. Ellie's twin." I was stunned. Everything started clicking in a way that made my stomach twist with guilt and confusion. But before I could process it, Karen looked up, locked eyes with me across the distance, and the expression on her face wasn't rage anymore. It was something raw, broken, desperate. She started walking towards us fast. Security noticed and moved to intercept, but she held up both hands, shouting, "Wait, please, I just need to talk to her for 1 second." The agents hesitated, and she closed the gap, stopping a few feet away, clutching that little elephant so tight her knuckles were white. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare your daughter. She trailed off, eyes filling up, looking at Lily's bald head, then at her own stuffed animal. "My grandson is starting treatment next week. He's 6. I saw you cutting the line, and I thought you were one of those people who fake it, and I panicked because if everyone does that, then when it's his turn—" Her words hung in the air. Travelers around us went quiet again, sensing the shift. Lily peeked out from behind my leg, staring at the matching elephant. I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to yell at her for the trauma she'd just put my child through. Part of me saw a terrified grandma losing her mind at the thought of her little boy going through hell. And then she did something that turned the entire morning upside down. She dropped to her knees right there in the middle of the concourse, tears streaming down her face, and held out the little stuffed elephant to Lily. "This is for my grandson, Tommy," she said, voice breaking. "He starts chemo on Monday. The hospital gave him this exact one, and I've been carrying it everywhere because I'm terrified. I saw your little girl and you moving so easily through that line, and I guess I just snapped. I thought, why does it look so easy for you when I'm already falling apart thinking about what's coming for him?" Lily peeked out, eyes wide, and slowly reached for the elephant. She touched its ear gently, then looked up at me. "Mommy, she's scared like us." I felt my anger crack open, raw hurt pouring out. This woman had humiliated my daughter in public, demanded she expose her body to strangers, made her cry. But now I saw the fear in her eyes, the same fear that kept me awake every night. I knelt down too, putting my arm around Lily. "It's not easy," I told Karen quietly. "None of it is. We've been doing this for 6 months. The pass helps with lines, but it doesn't help with the needles or the vomiting or wondering if your kid will make it to 9th grade. Karen covered her mouth, sobbing silently. Travelers were giving us space now, some wiping their own eyes. A TSA agent stood nearby, watching but not interfering anymore. Then came the twist I never saw coming. Karen reached into her purse and pulled out her blue medical folder, the one that had fallen earlier, and handed it to me. "Read the top letter," she whispered. I opened it. The hospital letterhead was the same as ours, but the patient name wasn't Tommy. It was Karen herself. Stage 3 lymphoma, diagnosed 3 weeks ago. She was flying to the same specialty center we'd been treated at for a second opinion, bringing her grandson's elephant for courage because she didn't have anyone else to hold her hand on the flight. She wasn't just a scared grandma. She was a scared patient, projecting every ounce of her terror onto us because we looked like we had it together. She'd lashed out at the mirror of her own nightmare. I stared at her, speechless. Lily, my brave little 8-year-old, who'd been through more than any adult should, tugged my sleeve again. "Mommy, can we give her my extra beanie, the soft one from the hospital? It helps when your head feels cold." Karen's eyes spilled over again as Lily ran back to our carry-on, dug out the pink knit cap the nurses had given her, and walked right up to this stranger who'd hurt her so deeply. She placed it gently on Karen's perfectly styled bob. "It's okay to be scared," Lily said, repeating the words I'd told her 100 times. "We're all scared, but you're going to be brave anyway." Karen pulled Lily into the gentlest hug, both of them crying. 2 bald warriors, one tiny, one grown, connected in a way no one else in that airport could understand. I joined them, the 3 of us on the floor, strangers no more. When we finally stood up, Karen apologized over and over. I told her it was forgiven because holding on to hate wouldn't help any of our kids or her fight harder. We exchanged numbers. She promised to text when she landed, and I promised to send her the list of tips we'd learned the hard way. Which anti-nausea meds work best, how to protect the port site, the YouTube channel with the funniest kid-friendly distractions during infusions. As we walked to our separate gates, Lily looked back and waved. Karen waved too, clutching both the elephant and the pink beanie, tears still falling but a small smile breaking through. Cancer doesn't care who you are. It strips us all down to the same fear. But sometimes, in the worst moments, it also shows us we're not alone. That day, a Karen became a friend, and my daughter taught a grown woman how to be brave. And months later, when both Lily and Karen rang the remission bell on the same afternoon, different hospitals, same victory song, I got a text from a number I'd almost deleted. A photo of her bald head ringing that bell, wearing Lily's pink beanie. Underneath, just 4 words. "Your daughter saved me." That's the real story of the day a stranger demanded to see my daughter's chemo port. It didn't end with revenge. It ended with two families holding on a little tighter, knowing we weren't fighting alone.
If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Every single subscription motivates me to bring you even more exciting and dramatic HOA stories. And don't forget to tap the bell icon so you never miss a new upload. I'll see you in the next story, where justice gets even more satisfying.